It feels like a do or die moment. I've already done this too many times to even be too worried about it. Don't worry about nothing else and start boxing.
Ready? Here we go.
Just on the ground. You got clowns out here asking me what my intentions are today. Bro, I'm trying to train. I'm locked in.
For this camp, we've been keeping it pretty with the same kind of pattern. You know, we wake up around 8:30, then head to the, strength and conditioning gym. We lift weights, we do, conditioning drills, sprints, all that stuff. Then we take a minor, 10-minute break, and then we head to, box.
This year was brutal because of the suspension he had, of the mental breakdown that he might have, had caused because of that, knowing that he was innocent. But we were there for him, as parents, as father. I stayed with him and I told him, well, I'm here if you need me. But he went through a lot. So going into that fight with Rolando Romero, he wasn't like this.
Just treating my body like a temple, what you put in is just as important. I was just so used to just being like a superhuman almost and just never getting affected by anything I put in my body.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good work. Let's go. Push it, push it, push it.
I feel like I've definitely been underestimated in my career.
Get stronger as you finish. Get stronger as you finish. Nice work. Come on, Mario. Let's attack it.
That's not something that has bothered me much.
Maybe glory in this task, but there's no shortage of risk.
Why am I doing this? Why didn't I stay in school? Days and workouts like that, they push you to a mental where you really have to question, like, why am I doing this? For me, I have a couple of reasons. For myself, been in boxing since I was 6. I have love for this game.
Not this time. It's Al Azteca time.
Former Trainer of the Year Bob Santos feels there's a real sense of momentum in Barrios' camp. Barrios is focused on turning experience into evolution. He's known for delivering action-packed fights.
It's about to be it's gonna be bad because I know all that. I know what he's training like. I know everything. They could say, oh, he knows, but he didn't train with me long enough. I know, been knowing Joe since I was 17. I know exactly, and I haven't trained with him. I just watched him, so I know exactly how he trains his fighter, exactly what they're doing.
With fight night drawing near, Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios immerse themselves in relentless preparation, staying completely locked in with unwavering discipline and fierce determination to showcase their finest abilities when the bell rings. Under the watchful eye of Coach Eddie Reynoso, Ryan Garcia hones his craft in the training facility, perfecting his timing and explosive hand velocity through precise work on the reflex bag. Mario Barrios grinds through grueling training rounds at camp, fine-tuning his striking sequences and evasive footwork with relentless dedication.
Y'all are going to see why I'm the champion in the first place. This is like the kind of thing that, you dream of as a young fighter.
Each training session embodies unwavering commitment, laser-sharp concentration, and fierce resolve as both fighters steadily build momentum toward the ultimate showdown. Ryan maintains unwavering confidence in his victory, showcasing tremendous faith in his camp preparation, mental clarity, and capacity to produce a commanding display of dominance.
He'll be fighting against the current. High tide, mother. Get out the water! And I ain't no lifeguard, so you ain't gonna get saved.
During his gym sessions, Ryan dedicates time to polishing his lead hand technique while mastering the devastating power of his signature left cross. Even facing the unexpected twist of his previous trainer, now coaching Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia stays completely unshaken. He showcases remarkable mental fortitude and laser focus, never allowing outside circumstances to disrupt his fight preparation. Day after day in the training facility, he tackles every session with clear intent and strict discipline, committing himself entirely to skill enhancement and maintaining optimal physical readiness.
Look at my lips. Oh, he already know. This is about to be oh, it's gonna be bad, because I know all that. I know what he's training like. I know everything. You know, they could say, oh, he knows, but he didn't train with me long enough. I know, been knowing Joe since I was 17. I know exactly, and I haven't trained with them. I just watched him, so I know exactly how he trains his fighter, exactly what they're doing. So to me, it was like, oh, thank God you gave me an advantage. Like, it's just another advantage for me. And, you know, word leaks, things leak, you know. Joe was a part of that. I don't want to get too into it, but, you know.
Do you think Joe was leaking stuff out of you?
I don't know. I didn't say that. Allegedly. I don't know. I have no clue.
Mario, a lot of trainers in boxing. Why'd you go with the one that used to train Ryan Garcia?
I mean, it was like, I'm in like a position with these next couple of years.
Ryan meticulously performs each training exercise, covering everything from rapid-fire reflex work to protective techniques and devastating striking combinations, leaving no element of his arsenal untouched. His approach remains rock solid, emphasizing steady progress and emotional control above reactive responses. Even with the additional challenge of watching a once familiar mentor now guiding his adversary, Ryan transforms any possible friction into pure drive instead of allowing it to derail his focus. His psychological resilience, paired with systematic and thorough preparation, demonstrates exactly why he ranks among the most concentrated and battle-ready competitors in boxing today.
The move with Joe, it had nothing to do with Ryan. Like, that was going to happen regardless whether this fight was made or not. It's just kind of coincidence that it happened to happen next.
Do you think it was a coincidence?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was. I don't think it was more like, I don't think it was like, hey, I'm going to do this to try to throw him off. I'll be real. I think it was a missed chess move. I don't think it was a good chess move, but we'll see. You know?
Why don't you think it was a good chess
I just don't think it's a good fit for him. I don't. I think, you know, Bob was cool. I fucked with Bob. You know, Bob was a good trainer. So we'll see. We'll see, though. Maybe he can prove me wrong. Shit, we'll see, right? That's the whole point of this.
How's the fit been?
It's been good. I mean, I stayed, you know, I came out here to LA, worked with Joe for a week in November.
Expert analyst Wade Plemon offered a thoughtful perspective on the intricate dynamics between fighters and their trainers, emphasizing the frequently underestimated relationship of mutual influence and shared development. He proposed that ring success stems from multiple interconnected elements rather than any isolated component, developing through collaborative partnerships where each side drives the other's advancement. Though trainers deliver technical knowledge, tactical insight, and seasoned expertise, a competitor's commitment, flexibility, and training intensity equally shape the direction of that mentoring bond. Plemon stressed that certain athletes naturally inspire their coaches toward innovation, method refinement, and training evolution to meet fresh obstacles. Similarly, exceptional mentors unlock hidden abilities in their students, guiding them beyond perceived barriers toward performance peaks they couldn't achieve independently.
Right, especially in boxing combat sports, is it a coach that makes the fighter or the fighter that makes the coach? Now, Joe Goosen has a track record of being a high-level boxing coach. We know that. But do coaches change for fighters, or do they implement what they know to fighters and fighters change for coaches? Because this will be the crux of what happens here. Can Joe Goosen, not to call Mario Barrios old, but can he teach an old dog new tricks? Can he give him something that Bob Santos hasn't? Sure. Can he give him more info about what Ryan likes to do? Absolutely. But will it be enough to prepare him for what Ryan knows that Joe knows? And how Joe trains fighters, and how Joe runs a camp, and how rigid he might be. And even that last part, Ryan's talking about information leaking maybe from Joe, or that Joe was leaking information about Barrios, or about, I'm not sure who he was talking about Ryan, about Barrios, but Ryan again seems confident that he knows exactly what they want to do, and maybe even knows what's going on in Barrios' camp, which again, does that really mean a lot? Who knows? But again, what makes a fighter?
This reciprocal dynamic generates an environment where advancement flows from shared dedication rather than top-down commands. The analyst further observed that studying fighter-trainer interactions reveals valuable insights about a competitor's mental approach, self-control, and inner strength. Ultimately, Plemons emphasized that elite-level achievement relies on this equilibrium between expert guidance and individual determination, where fighter and coach mutually inspire each other through dedication, confidence, and collaborative effort.
And shared ambition.
For both those guys, Bill Haney was saying his son was going to kill Ryan. It was crazy. But, you know, in the Rolly fight, everything was super laid back. I was there at the press conference watching Ryan just kind of more be so, you know, locked in on Devin and maybe overlooking Rolly. He can't make that mistake here. And it doesn't look like he has. It doesn't look like he's overlooked Mario Barrios. He absolutely believes he's going to knock Mario Barrios out. And that kind of confidence is what you want to see. This is kind of the old Ryan. A little bit more, I would say, subdued, obviously, than the Devin Haney fight. But in his early career, he was a subdued guy. The trash talk started coming out more with the Gervonta Davis fight and even the Oscar Duarte fight. He was talking trash to Oscar De La Hoya. He was like, yo, you want him to win? Watch this. And again, as much as Barrios, I think, is the most gettable champion at 47 right now, he's still a dog.
Ryan Garcia's father and advisor opened up regarding the unforeseen developments involving Mario Barrios and seasoned trainer Joe Goosen. He shared that the circumstances felt quite unexpected, pointing out how uncommon such coaching transitions become in professional boxing. Though Ryan accepted full accountability for his decisions, his father acknowledged initially being caught off guard by these changes, especially given Goosen's track record of training athletes who eventually became ring adversaries. He contemplated the business aspects of combat sports, recognizing that while such shifts remain infrequent, they demand thoughtful management and psychological strength.
Well, my son is the one that, felt that way. I felt that way, that it was kind of a surprise at first, but then I recall Joe telling me that he did that in the past. He did that in the past where he would train a fighter, and then about 3-4 months later, he would fight against the guy, who he trained. It was kind of weird. So I told Ryan about that. I said, you know what, he does those kind of things. I don't know why he did it against us, but maybe he wanted to get paid or something, but there's no advantage here.
This discussion also emphasized the critical role of loyalty and clear dialogue within an athlete's inner circle, since choices of this nature can influence training preparation, fight planning, and psychological readiness. Through sharing his viewpoint, Ryan's father provided valuable perspective on the obstacles competitors encounter outside of physical conditioning, stressing the psychological and emotional factors that define professional boxing careers. He noted that handling these challenges with steady composure and sharp focus becomes vital for sustaining peak performance and remaining devoted to career ambitions within the sport.
How's this training camp going, man? Like, when you look at Ryan, you look at all the other training camps, and you guys are back together, united again. How does this one fare upon all the others?
You know what? This is the best I've ever seen, and the best I've witnessed the way his condition is. I mean, it's just a work of art. I mean it, a work of art. This is something that everyone's going to be surprised. And like I said, he's up here, he's 100%. And when he's like that, ain't nobody going to beat him. There's no way. He won't let you. I won't let him, lose, but
definitely he's on it. He's just like he's on a mission. I love it. I'm loving this training camp.
Mario Barrios and trainer Joe Goosen exhibit extraordinary concentration and steady determination while preparing for their challenging encounter with Ryan Garcia. Their entire training operation follows a systematic approach, featuring meticulous attention to every component and complete awareness of the stakes involved. Goosen stresses that no preparation opportunity gets wasted, emphasizing how dedicated gym work directly converts to ring excellence. Barrios reflects this philosophy, displaying strict discipline and sharp mental focus throughout every exercise, sparring round, and tactical meeting.
I don't look back and count on him making the same mistakes he made in the last fight. I want to train Mario to face the best Ryan Garcia that he can possibly be.
Now, in your viewpoint, is it a mistake to jump around trainers as much? Does it hurt a guy? Does it help a guy?
Well, stability in boxing is a valued commodity, you know, especially if you're winning. You know, you don't fix it if it's not broken, right? But sometimes you can have a relationship with the trainer that, you know, just doesn't click for you, and you recognize that, and you may want to, you know, change.
Their methodology balances fierce intensity with measured restraint, guaranteeing comprehensive preparation without rushing or careless execution. Beyond physical development, the camp emphasizes strategic blueprints, protective skills, and situational flexibility, enabling Barrios to handle any challenge effectively during competition. Goosen's coaching expertise shines through the organized structure of every training session, leading Barrios through targeted improvements while building confidence and maintaining calm focus. United in their mission, they form a cohesive team that combines wisdom, thorough preparation, and psychological toughness, establishing a camp atmosphere that stays both strictly disciplined and tactically sharp, confirming that every preparation aspect gets addressed before the opening bell.
And, you know, today's age of boxing, you know, like I said, where people are very quick to write you off, you know, regardless, you know, if you got yourself into that position or not. Like I said, I got into that position, you know, by beating Ugas for the interim. And then, yeah, I was elevated when Crawford moved up. And, of course, me as a fighter, you know, like, nobody wants to be elevated as a champion, right? You always think about you winning the title, you know, against the champion, in whatever fashion, but you always imagine yourself, you know, beating the champion. But again, you know, that's just where, you know, boxing is today. And regardless, I'm still very proud of that position that I was able to get myself in. But yeah, you know, I'm looking.
Moving ahead, Chris Algieri provided his assessment of Ryan Garcia's coming battle, delivering an honest examination of boxing realities and the commercial aspects driving the sport. He observed that though this particular matchup might not appear completely merit-based, these scenarios frequently occur in professional boxing, where promotional timing, market appeal, and financial considerations often carry equal weight alongside in-ring achievements. Algieri clarified that within the professional landscape, such choices prove sensible from a business perspective, since they create buzz, attract audiences, and generate income streams essential for sustaining fighter careers and major events. He additionally noted that while fans and boxing media had speculated about this potential fight for multiple weeks, the formal announcement brings everything into clearer perspective, sparking detailed analysis, widespread debate, and fresh enthusiasm throughout the boxing world.
Ryan is one of the biggest question marks in the game. Super talented guy, but sometimes does not show up. Rolly Romero. You know, people were talking about him walking through Rollies like it was nothing, and then he ends up taking a loss, getting dropped, and losing. So there's I don't know exactly who's going to win this fight, because that's when it comes to Ryan, any prediction you make, it can go completely the opposite way.
Yeah, he's an absolute wild card. He goes in there and drops Devin Haney numerous times. He's on Osterine. He's in the middle of a manic episode, and he looked
in
good
the club.
in that fight.
He's in the club the week of the fight every night.
Is that true?
That's what I heard.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I went back and watched some of the interviews I did that week with him at Gleason's gym. That guy it was scary. I mean, I never want to see a fighter like that again. He was going through some serious episode.
Jerry emphasized that competitors and their teams must adjust to these announcements, preparing both mentally and tactically while keeping their attention fixed on personal performance rather than external commentary. Official confirmation converts speculation into focused preparation, demanding that both training camps elevate their intensity, sharpen their game plans, and approach the contest with complete professionalism. His observations highlight that boxing combines athletic competition with commercial enterprise, where chances emerge through various pathways, requiring flexibility from everyone involved.
To the Rolly fight, where he was very reserved, very subdued, wasn't really promoting the fight, didn't look like he wanted to be there. Horrible performance. Somewhere in the middle, and I think that's what we're getting right now. He's doing a lot of streams. He's putting himself out there big time, and that way it's interesting to see how fighters market themselves now in 2026. It's all streamers. We see Terrence Crawford on with Aiden Ross. We see Ryan Garcia doing all these streams now. Teofimo is linked up at Aiden Ross doing brand risk stuff. So when it comes to that, that's interesting. But in terms of Ryan in the ring, even Tyson Fury recently posted on his Instagram story, and he said, this is true star power. Ryan Garcia right back in a title shot off of a loss. True star power. And I was like, yeah, it's true. I mean, it is. It is what it is. And like you said, we're all going to watch. And that's like the part of boxing.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.